11 years ago, I moved to Atlanta to join a clinical trial for treatment-resistant depression, where I had brain surgery, and they implanted 2 electrodes in my brain, and I have a battery pack. For me, it was so evocative because we don't have a lot of language to describe what we're going through, and to see what I feel like is my lived experience expressed without words, just completely moving, was just amazing, because it is so hard to explain to people who've never experienced any of these issues, whether it be movement disorders or mental illness or memory or those things, to understand what that feels like, how it impacts your ability to interact with society. Just to see that expressed in such a visceral way was truly incredible, and it exceeded every expectation I had.
One thing that was very important for me in this piece was to not just have people walk in, watch some purely abstract dance piece, which I think they could do so many because the data is so beautiful coming out of this, just in an abstract sense. But I really wanted to allow people to take a second to think about some of these issues.
The really beautiful thing about studying the brain is that you realize how you need multiple disciplines to really understand it. Science is just one methodology that gives you certain pieces of the puzzle, and then philosophy and ethics, where I've been, is another piece. But really, you realize that all of this, any science is really socially embedded. And what you want to make sure with any technology that comes out of science is to make sure that technologies are really on more of the end of empowering versus exploitative. And you hope that you co-create in a ways that makes a society that you want to live in and leaves an open future, as we kind of saw in the piece, a future where your child and future generations can live in.
It's a really remarkable thing. Troy and Sergio too were able to pull together really broad themes and weave them together in a narrative that is also beautiful. I wasn't sitting in a lecture, I was sitting in a piece of art. And I love that because when we're working at something like neuroscience and neurotechnology, we're right at the edge of what we know. We don't always have good language to talk about it. We're developing the language as we're discovering, right? And so as we need to approach some of these ethical questions, if we don't have a mature language for it, I think it's one of the really remarkable things about the art is it gives us a way to communicate and talk about concepts that we don't have language for.
Stand up if you agree to give your child a brain-machine interface to walk again after an injury. Would you do this for a child to walk again? Okay, how about this one? Would you give them a brain-machine interface to never ask you again for help on their math homework? Oh, come on, really? See? We've got a winner here. Okay, I'll sit down for that too. So what you've gone through right here is essentially what we define as public engagement with science.